So when I tune into the collective consciousness, I feel intense anger one day and intense sadness and crying energy the next. So my heart truly goes out to everyone who is affected by the coronavirus right now. I am really, really sorry that this is happening. And when I tuned into the other side, I asked them what they wanted to talk about, and they wanted to talk about the things that we can learn from this. I feel like there are a lot of things that we are being shown, and so I wanted to point some of those things out. Number one, we are being shown that universal health care isn't so stupid. The one for all and all for one mentality definitely applies when it comes to health. My health affects your health, and your health affects my health. So we really need to bond together and look out for one another as a collective. So it's like we're all connected, we're all in this together, and it's important to take care of each other and make sure everyone has access to quality health care. Number two, they wanted me to talk about government assistance programs and the importance of them. This virus is actually telling us that hard times can fall on anyone, anywhere, at any time. And so does that mean that you're stupid or lazy or, deserve this? You just deserve to be blown off and, oh well, screw you? No. It's kind of asking people to look at things from a different perspective. We're learning that, again, hard times can fall on anyone overnight, which is why it's important to bond together and take care of one another instead of the every man for himself mentality. It just isn't the way the universe is set up. Number three, we are also being shown how much dependence we have on one another as a whole. Do you notice how much you rely on other people now that they're gone? Maybe the people that you never noticed or appreciated before, you are starting to notice now. The person checking you in at the gym, the person helping you pick a seat at the movie theater, the waiter or waitress at the restaurant you just went to. It's like all the people we took for granted, we now appreciate. And this is spanning the classes. It's not like, this is everyone, whether you're a high income household, a low income household. No one's immune. The spas are closing, golf courses are closing, flights to Europe are being canceled. It's like everyone is truly seeing the value of others and the goods and services they provide. And we're noticing truly how much we rely on their knowledge, expertise, and experience. Maybe you're trying to color your hair yourself. Maybe you're trying to do your nails yourself. Give your car an oil change. Sew your own clothes, whatever. Maybe you're trying to do everything yourself and you're kind of struggling and you really appreciate them. You miss them and you appreciate them, and appreciation is good. This has been stuff that we've taken for granted and luxuries that we've gotten used to. Another thing that they wanted me to point out was the importance of health. And if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So everyone's affected by this. We all have lungs and noses, and we're all susceptible to disease. So we really need to protect ourselves and one another, and especially protect the vulnerable. So this is about finding a balance between unconditional love for self and unconditional love for others, and really noticing that we are all connected and we're in this together. So there's strength in banding together. And it just, it makes us appreciate health in general and the importance of making it a priority. Diet, exercise, getting enough sleep, taking your vitamins, and just realizing that your body is a temple, and self-care is important. Self-care is actually part of self-love. Another thing we're being shown is just the importance of the healthcare system and how these heroes among us, right? They're really working overtime right now. So we're learning about the importance and the value of the healthcare system in general. Doctors, nurses, caretakers, nutritionists, personal trainers, EMTs, earth angels, and healers doing their part to help. They're all extremely valuable. And then another thing they wanted me to point out is liberty and freedom. A lot of us have lost our freedom, right? Subway's not running, buses aren't running, transportation shut down, don't have as much, mobility. Entertainment is shut down. Your freedom to go places and do things, and your freedom to move around, to travel. Flights are canceled. So your freedom, your liberty, it makes you appreciate that as well, since you feel like it's been taken away right now. Another thing that they wanted me to bring up was money. Your money doesn't have as much use without people, right? It's like, if you have all this money and you want to use it for goods and services and there's no one there to provide those goods and services, it's like your money doesn't really matter. You still need other people. There's no courtside tickets to a sporting event or front row tickets to a concert if there's no concert or sporting event happening. If there's no venue, it's like your money's useless. So society matters. People matter. People are important. We just heavily rely on each other. And then another thing they wanted you guys to pay close attention to is corporations and how they're treating their people right now. This is a global health crisis right now. And so they wanted you to kind of look at big business and pay close attention to how corporations are treating their people right now. Are they trying to take care of them, or are they just like, oh, well, screw you? Take a closer look at the big business right now and see what you can learn about them in the process. Another thing, what are you seeing about government right now? Do you feel like you can rely on them? Do you feel like you can trust them? How are they responding to everything? Do you feel like they're concerned about the interest of the people? You're being asked to take a closer look at the government as well. And another thing they want you to take a close look at is just our vulnerability. How vulnerable do you feel right now? You don't live in a vacuum, that's for sure, I'll tell you that. Your health is vulnerable, your paycheck's vulnerable, your livelihood, the economy. We don't live in a vacuum. We're vulnerable. It's like our health is vulnerable, all of it. So we're being shown the importance of self-compassion and compassion for others, and the importance of bonding and taking care of each other. And with money, support, guidance, helping our neighbors, coming together as a team, whatever we can do right now. This is actually a very interesting thing to be happening in our lifetime. I have to be honest with you. This is very odd. Everywhere you look, businesses are closed. There's no cars on the road. This is a huge eye-opener for us. This is a huge wake-up call for us. I really feel like we're being shown a lot here, and I really feel like this whole experience is extremely humbling, to be honest. I think we're learning humility. I mean, I just feel like if you were on a high horse before, you were just knocked off of it, pushed out of your comfort zone, no holier than thou attitude, because we're all affected. I mean, this is disrupting everyone's lives. I feel like part of appreciation is also kind of coming from a place of humility. That's the way it feels. Another thing is bonding with each other. I know we heavily rely on technology, which we're doing right now because we, have to have our social distancing. But, try to bond with people as much as you can from 6 feet away. Right? Take time to really get to know people, since this is kind of a time out for you and a time for reflection. I mean, this is all shared trauma with everybody, and misery loves company, and people are bonding over this. So come together, support each other, and use this as a time for bonding as well, as much as you can. Another thing is they wanted me to talk about the importance of peace of mind and just being able to sleep at night. Like knowing where your next paycheck is coming from, and just the value of peace of mind. You probably don't have any right now, but control what you can control. Grab onto your faith in God, pray, and ask God for what you need. I mean, it feels like, we're on a roller coaster right now. But, there's also a lot to be learned here. So another thing that they wanted me to talk about is personal growth and development. This is an opportunity for personal growth and development where you're making the most of this time and taking a time out for self-reflection, meditation, grab onto your spirituality, God, your faith, and really just, get in touch with yourself, reflect, journal, take a closer look at your life. Because I feel like the lessons that we're learning here are necessary and for our highest good. So that's why I wanted to make this video pointing out some of the things that we are learning from this crazy situation. There's a lot to be learned here, and I feel like we're all sitting in a classroom right now. So how do you want to use this time? How do you want to use this time? Like, things are shutting down. You're going to have more free time. How are you going to use it? Take a closer look at what's going on around you. Take a closer look at what's going on inside of you. And ask yourself, what can I learn from the situation? And what can I do to embrace my truth and the truth? And in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.